hit!
Hello and welcome to our super special secrets recap for Division 4 and Division 5. I have two guests joining me.
Oi, oi.
Yes, and you have me, your lovely host, Hustler from Div 4, the dwarf team which everyone hates, so nice to see you guys.
Yeah, and I'm FreddieGibbs, coach of the Big Bulligans in Division 5. They're doing pretty good so far, so yeah.
Yeah, and I believe we are starting out with Division 4 because there was one guy in Twitch chat who said so. So, let's have a look at the first team. There's Death Then Dishonor, coached by Barmushin. It's a 1k 640 team value necromantic team. So, did you play this team already?
Yeah, I played them actually last game. We drew 1-1 after him being so unlucky too. I got so many KOs in the start and so on, so it was actually really nice. Really good job of Musician to pull it off for the 1-1 draw there. I had a chance of knocking down the ball one die with my Troll Slayer on his ghoul, but I double skulled it. So
Well, that's Blood Bowl for you.
yeah, that's how it should be as well. You one die, you get skulls.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the opinion of a dwarf coach.
Oh, but that's what
Yeah.
happens anyways. Like, I got so much guard now, so it's just trying to 2-die as much as possible.
Yeah, and he deserves to do that. He's a dwarf.
But anyways, the team, like, I ended up killing one of the Rotters, so it wasn't really too much, and then like an injury and stuff. So his team still looks pretty solid for the next round, and he's been doing pretty well. He's sitting currently in, let's see here, at third place in Div 4. So with 14 points, 3 points up to second place. So there's still a chance of qualifying if he does really well, and then someone takes down the Orc team a notch or two. So there's still a good chance of qualifying for playoffs here for Barmushin.
So I actually don't know how many playoff spots does the Division 4 get.
I think they only got 1, right?
I think it's 2. I think it's 1 and 2 gets a playoff spot.
Well, if
I can just try to fish it up if you want.
Well, if you're in third space, then there should be a decent shot at getting a playoff spot.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's just 3 points different there, so there's a good chance there.
yeah,
You could still take it. Like, after playing him, he's a really nice guy, like really cool guy to talk with in chat as well, and just played really solid actually.
So let's have a look at his players. He has 2 very nice flesh golems, both have block and guard. I think we all agree with those decisions.
Yup.
Yep, definitely. And he's just 1 SPP away from leveling 1 and 1 MVP away from the other one. So
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, maybe flesh golems should just be treated like black orcs, or better black orcs. So they could have also gone for mighty blow instead of guard, just to level them a bit faster. But yeah, it's respectable.
I think they could with the guard. They just stand there stand firm and just be annoying for most of the teams, really.
Yeah.
Especially for the lower strength teams, it can be quite a pain to deal with.
Well, he has a player with mighty blow, and that's the white. He also has tackle.
Yes.
I think that's also a great piece to have.
Yep.
And he has another white who only made a pass so far, but that's
getting there.
Still getting there.
Yeah, I think it's just a replacement right to an older one.
Yeah, probably. Now, what's interesting about this team are the werewolves. Because not everybody would go with 2 blotch werewolves.
I mean, it does make sense for most people. Like, if you don't really roll double for werewolves, you might as well take Dutch and have the blotch ready.
Yeah, having movement 8 blotch player is never a bad thing to have, really.
No.
Well, maybe I'm just too used to Ketcherus's wolves who just roll doubles every time.
Gets mighty blow and then gets annoying for all the high AV teams.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't really roll into doubles, there's nothing wrong with taking block. Block and dodge.
Still, you might want to have a werewolf with block and tackle, maybe.
Yeah, but he can take that a bit later.
Yeah.
Could be on the next level up. I could think that he might want to take that on Fleefer. Leaky is he's 5 of leveling up. But he's got sidestep though, so he might want to take another skill on there.
Yeah, I'm not sort of.
He already. Sorry.
Nah, go on.
Yeah, I was just about to say he does have the white with the tackle. Like he doesn't really have to go all out in tackle, guys. One is probably more than enough in this division. I haven't really checked it, so.
Yeah, I like to have 2 tackle pieces if I can, just to have the tackle. If your only tackler is out of position, it's good to have a second one. But it depends on the division. How many dodge players are there? How much do you need it? And I'm also not trying to say it's necessarily a bad decision. I'm just saying maybe he could have gone for a different build with his second werewolf, but it's fine.
Yeah. Plus, also, the second white might also have head tackle, but then again, maybe he just died and got replaced now.
Yeah,
that could also
true.
be.
That's true. So he also has 2 ghouls, one of them with blodge, one of them with wrestle and dodge. I think those are smart decisions. I can't complain.
Nope. I mean, one is the stagger and the other is ball carrier, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the standard one to go for. One's sacking the ball, the other one's just annoying. Probably gets sidestep next, depending on what it rolls. But blodge sidestep could be. And then, maybe tackle on the other ghoul once it levels up.
Or strip ball in case the other team, most of the other teams don't have sure hands.
Yeah, sounds like smart decisions and a good development plan. And what we have left for the teams are 4 zombies.
Yeah, and one busted zombie.
Yeah, I think you don't care too much about the movement bust on the zombie.
He's just supposed to be there to be annoying. Like he's there for the defensive play with the kick, and then goes in to be annoying with the guard and block. Just to be in the way, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to allow for the 2 die.
Yeah. Plus, with this many skills, he can't really afford to just sack him. Like a guard and kick is just good.
Yeah.
So you first.
He also has another guard zombie, which is a great decision in my opinion. Sure, the move bust is annoying on the more developed zombie, but it's something you can work with. It's not a reason you would fire him, like maybe a strength bust or a armor value bust. So I do agree with keeping him. And he also has a dirty player wrestle zombie. I think that's also a smart decision.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's pretty standard to have a dirty player zombie. Just to kind of pull the living hell out of anyone that gets on the floor.
Plus, if he just levels up anyway, like we can't really do anything about it. Because generally you do want to just have a dirty player. That's it, and not wrestle or anything, just for bloat and stuff.
Yeah, but wrestle works well with dirty player. You knock him down on his turn, and then you stand up and foul him.
Yeah, exactly. So wrestle is a better skill for a dirty player if he levels up and such.
Yeah, I think this team is looking pretty good. He's in a good place in his division. His overall record is also pretty good with 13 wins, 9 draws, and 6 losses. Can't complain about that.
He can't, and he's in a good spot for playoffs, for qualifying players. 3rd place, just things just have to go right for now, and then there's a good chance that he might hit 2nd place, I think.
Yeah, shall we move on to the next team?
Let's do
that.
Because the next team is Nurgle Murgle Urgle, and they're coached by Veroram. And this guy is actually a good friend of mine. And I have been enjoying watching his results because he isn't doing too well.
Oh,
Except for against my team, he decided to just destroy them.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
killed your movement, agility runner, I
Yeah, block
believe.
tackle runner, yeah, and armor busted my troll slayer, my killer troll slayer, and MNG the other troll slayer. So that was a good 3 people to be missing for the next game against the elves.
And yeah, well, the other team does also have an upgraded stadium before we move.
Oh,
If that's also to point out.
let's have a quick look. What stadium does he have? It's a
just
beer
level 3,
stand.
and then he has the beer stand, the surf
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
So which makes sense with 2 frenzy players.
Especially if
with
you have a
people up.
sidestep wolf who can surf even if he ends up on the sideline. But let's get back to Verabam, because his
Yup.
Nurgle team is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
It's shaping up pretty well now. He
Yeah,
does.
James, you
He
first?
does have the nickel though. He does have the nickel on the killer pestigore, which can be a bit of an issue if people get to it. But so far, he's kept it for pretty long.
Yeah, that's. I mean, legal injury isn't really all that bad unless it just gets to stack up over time. As long as he just keeps him safe, it's probably too good enough.
Yeah, because one player he couldn't keep very safe is his Beast of Nurgle. I think it's died 2 times already this season. Or maybe it was at the end of the last season the first time, but it at least died once. So he's looking to get his first level up soon. But he does have 3 really good looking Chaos Nurgle warriors.
Yeah, they're getting there. As well, block guard, 1 mighty blow block, and then he has the fresh one because I kind of managed to kill the other one in our game.
Good.
At least some payback for.
Yeah, at least a little bit. I got something to go home with at least. That Nurgle warrior when he took. If you actually look at the second runner from the bottom, that's my my old runner, Mr. Run for It. He's a nice runner now, and I've asked Viram to get all the agility points for him, so he can be the new ball carrier on the team.
Well, he has a pretty good ball carrier already with Catriona. It's Bloss Sure Hands.
Yeah, but still, he should respect Mr. Run for It. He was a pretty good runner.
He scored the most touchdowns last season in G-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad, especially for a dwarf.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly, now he's relegated to sit on the bench.
Well, he might get his chance because he does have a dirty player who also has 2 heads. And have you seen the player model of the 2 heads rotter?
Yeah, that is one cute little fella in the belly.
I mean, in my opinion,
like the thing in the stomach there. It's like, what is that thing even?
I think it's a Nurgling.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have been my first choice for the second level up, but it's also not terrible, and it does look really, really cute. So,
yeah. I mean, it does serve some kind of purpose. Like if the dirty player is just marked and wanna stomp on some kid's head a few ways away, he just dodge out on a 2+ now. And just get over there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a C-section gone wrong, isn't it? Kind of looks like that.
well, what else do we have? We already talked about the Nickel Killer, which is unfortunate, but I would keep him. You can't afford to fire or replace your killer at this point. Dementia would need to get a few more levels before he could do that. So I agree with keeping him.
Yeah, definitely. Like as long as you can as well, because it is Nurgle. They have 4 strength 4 and the Beast of Nurgle to kind of protect him from any damage. So blitzing forward with him running back behind the 2 guard and the strength 5 tentacles, it's not a bad tactic at all really for him.
It's not. Plus, I do like that he's just picked Dutch for the two pestigores to keep them up and mobile, and hard to hit. I like that.
Yeah, it's in terms of development, it's really good looking. His scoreline isn't that good this season. I think he's at 1 win, 1 draw, and 5 losses so far. But he did pretty well in his first season because his overall record is now 9 wins, 4 draws, and 11 losses. And if you consider it being our first and now second season Nurgle team, that's a pretty good overall record.
It is
Yeah, it is.
and it's shaping up to be something that can do some real damage to the teams later on as well. So it's definitely a fun team to face, as I found out.
Yeah. I certainly don't hope. I certainly hope to face the team like I can deal with one claw. It's no problem.
He also has a stadium upgrade, and it's the Astrogonad. And I have been watching a few of his games because he's a buddy of mine, and I think so far it hurt him more than it did him good when he played on the Astrogonad. But
Yeah. Yeah, sure, probably just taking that Elven turf thingy instead.
yeah, but that's probably because he did lose most of his games, and if you're behind and want to prevent the score, you sometimes do need to do more GFIs than you otherwise would. So
Yeah.
it's definitely probably not my first pick, but it's not a bad pick.
Yeah, it is a pretty good turn to that. But still, elf players are most likely gonna still try to do it. Every player, in fact, yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, plus I like how he sponsors his McMurdy's. McMurdy's always the best burgers.
well, I also have been taking another look at the games he played, and it seems like he is doing the best against dwarfs and chores. It's always good to see dwarves not doing that well. Nothing against you, but I think most players would agree with dwarves taking a slight beating.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares about me losing a couple of players. I think they're just rejoicing over it, really.
Yeah, I mean, dwarves are pretty fun to hit, but it's even funnier when they crack.
Yeah, and I think we cracked this team over here. I think we covered everything. Shall we move on?
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Next
Oh,
up,
no.
we have the Bloodthirsty Sea Guard, a high elf team with quite a lot of TV. Let's have a look. I see stat ups. I see quite a few stat ups.
Yeah, but it's not that bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm not really a big fan of elves, but this team looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
The throw is pretty good though, with both strong arm and accurate.
He can definitely do some things. He just throws it from one end to the other, and then you have the catch up in the other end and runs away from the.
Yeah, and he has two pretty good catchers. One with Edgy 5 and another one with Movement 9.
Yeah,
So-
bludge sidestep as well on the movement one, which is pretty good.
There
Yeah,
are.
plus
Yeah?
yeah, sorry, yeah. Plus a decent saga as well. So this team looks pretty good.
Yeah, I love the lineman, the mighty blow block tackle lineman there, just out there to put hurt on people.
Yeah, it does remind me of one of the elf teams in my Division 5. He has a blitzer that's gone down a movement and it's got pretty much the same set of skills. So this might as well be that blitzer as well.
Yeah, he can really need a lineman like this because it seems like he lost a blitzer shortly because he has a fresh one. The other one is looking pretty good with blodge step and tackle, so nothing to complain about.
Hard to take down player, really good player.
Yep. Like, his neck will probably snap in a few games. Don't worry.
So, did you play him already? Probably
Yeah,
not.
I did. We
You
played-
did.
Let's see. How much did we? What did it end up with? Was it 1-1
It's
or
a
2-2?
1-1 draw.
Yes, the 1-1. It's the turn. What was it? Was it turn 15? Yeah, turn 15. Uphill die to get the push onto the ball for his one guy. He had two guys left on the field, by the way. At that point, to into the lineman's hands to then run away.
Ah,
So
that's
you
annoying.
can see I put a bit of hurt if you look at the SPP for that game. I got a few SPP for that game, but he did really well there. And then the 1-1 draw. But they're really nice guy, really cool guy, and he started out really well in the season as well. I think he was top of the division for a while, and now he's in 4th place with 13 points. So he also has a good chance, or definitely he has a chance of qualifying still.
Yeah, I think he's undefeated this season so far. He has
3-4-0 is the record for his team.
That's
Yeah, so,
definitely
So there's
pretty
only-
good.
No, it's really good. There's only 3 undefeated teams in the division. That's 1st, 2nd, and 4th place. So that's really good going for him.
Yeah, good on him. Good on it, Chula this if you were listening in.
Yeah, and he seems like he manages to keep his team pretty alive, despite getting nearly pitch cleared by some draws.
Yep.
But he does have a good-looking team. He plays it well, at least his record says that. So, you have to look out for him in this division. He can probably be very well a contender for one of those 2 playoff spots.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't rule him out as well. And with 14 points so far, he's sitting pretty solid on it. So, yeah, really good chance of qualifying still for him.
Yep. Plus, if you actually face him, you do have 2 players that I think he wouldn't mind that you kill the bottom ones.
Yeah, you can always spare a lineman or 2 as elves.
Especially if they're already busted.
And this team is the first one without a stadium upgrade.
Oh,
So
all right.
nothing to talk about there.
No, and
But
standard 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary, fan factor 6, so nothing out of the ordinary there. I think he's just saving up for since he does have some AV7 players and stuff, he might just be saving up for buying new players whenever they keel over.
yeah, and his overall record is also pretty good. He has also been doing well in his first season. Probably one of the reasons why he got put in Division 4. He has 13 wins, 9 draws, and 6 losses.
That's a really good record as well.
So
Yeah, it is.
he definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does.
Actually, I do remember playing this guy as well in that division.
Let's see if we can find that game in the recap. Can you remember how it went?
Good question. It has been a long while since I played against him, so I don't really remember
Was he
all
in our
that much.
division? I think he was in another division last season, though. He wasn't in our division. I think he's been in another one. Yeah, we had another.
Yeah, at least I
playoff team
I
in
can't
ours.
find the game. So
I think it was we had a Rasta playing High Elves in ours, and then he swapped to Chaos now with the Ether Madrauk.
with this terrible team with names you can't pronounce. He is in one of my other divisions I recap on, and it's really annoying names like that. I mean, look at those names. Marcus Kane, Prince Rowan, names you can pronounce. People you can talk about. Not
What's wrong with that? Who got a brigadier is a pretty good name. And Oogie Boogie Group League.
Definitely, yes. Play off the
Yes.
game.
Well, let's see. Shall we move on to the
Let's move
Amazons?
on to the next one, yes.
Yeah.
The English. his team.
There is something about the name that clicks something in my brain. Let me just check right quick while you two just go on.
Well, let's have a look at the team. I see 2 blitzers with stat-ups. That's pretty good. I see another blitzer with agility bust, which is not so good, but I think he does the job he's supposed to do fine even without the extra agility. He has 4 really, really nice looking blitzers.
He does, yes. I have yet to play him, actually. We have, in a couple of weeks, I think I'm actually playing his team.
Yeah, the one thing that is kind of bothering the thing that bothers me about this team though is 2 rerolls.
Yeah, I think he wants to play it team value efficient, and with all those blotch pieces, you don't necessarily need 3 rerolls.
No, it's just you just get in there, get annoying, and then hope that people don't roll powers on you.
Yeah, plus it does have lead on thrower.
Ah, that's true.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's a good spot. So I'm a little surprised he doesn't have more blotch or rotch linemans. I mean,
Line women.
yeah, line
Then again,
women's. I'm
I
sorry.
think it's because they he's been losing them. If you look, a lot of them looks like they haven't really had any level ups or anything. It might just have been replaced players.
Yeah, that can be true.
Just one kick, one block, and 1 tackle. So it's a pretty even record. Doesn't draw much. Either wins or loses the game.
I mean, he is lacking catches, but I think he just doesn't really need any agility players.
He has the Agi 4 blitzer though, the blotch Agi Fend.
I was kind of talking about players with agility axes like sidestep and diving tackle and such.
Sure.
So, are you looking forward to play this team, or?
Well, Amazon is always a good matchup for Dwarf Willy with the full tackle, and then they Agi 3 teams really. You plus dodge out away from, and you just have your guard wall. It usually is a good matchup at least. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't think Ad English is looking forward to the team because I got a bit of a mighty blow at the moment as well. So
Yeah, especially since this team is fairly low on guard.
and Era in the chat is just saying he killed his sidestep blotch catcher last week. So
Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts.
How did the game go? It's a 2-0 win for Air. So
yeah, I think it's the previous game. Yeah, 2-0. It's the game. And where's he sitting now? He's currently in 11th place. He is there are 3 teams with 7 points in the division. All played 7 games, so anything can really happen in the next games there, depending on who wins, who loses, who draws. There.
yeah, I think this team has definitely the potential to do stuff, but I would say it's not as good looking as most of the other teams we have seen so far.
I think so far the ones we've been looking at have been in the top, and still with a chance of qualifying. I think.
And fair of them.
Yeah, like realistically, it's like my team as well. I think I'm just gonna be stuck in the middle of the division. I don't think I'm gonna qualify with my team as the record is now as well. So I think we're gonna be
just
around
flesh
the
out and develop.
What do you mean?
Like flesh out and develop the team members or something, Hutzler?
Like you're thinking for my team?
Yeah, I mean just the teams in general, like these songs as well.
Yeah, I would say these Suns, for example, are looking at getting a bit more development and then attacking next season again. I'm sure they can take some points this season, but the playoff spot is probably out of the question. And middle of the table is still nothing you would look down on because this is a pretty competitive division.
Yeah, and people are beating each other left and right, really.
Yeah.
Taking
And
points
that's,
from top teams, losing to bottom teams, and so on. Like it's here and there. Like everyone definitely has a shot at winning the games. It's not set in stone really who's gonna win whenever any of these teams are playing each other.
Yeah. Plus, a lot of teams are also, as Arrow here in the chat says, they are more capable of dealing with blood spam. That's the sounds here utilize with all the tackle they got. So that also kind of hinders them.
Yeah, that's true. He probably had a dirty player line woman at some point, but as Misu is pointing out, he doesn't have one anymore. Probably died at some point. But that's definitely something you would look to get soon with the next line woman level up, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be. I just continue the blood spam, just to be annoying. Then start from there, depending on what he decides, of course.
I mean, they could also go with wrestle on some of the line women in case when they get blocked and stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but I probably would get a dirty player first because you do need to do something to get control over the pitch. And as we said earlier, the dodge probably will be dealt with by most teams, so he needs something.
Yeah, he does need a dirty player, no doubt about it.
Let's see. We have a stadium upgrade, but no enhancement. Probably.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's just upgraded. That's it. Yeah.
Well,
Probably
he
had an excess of money because he's at 150k now, so not going in with extra cash and just giving away inducements really to the other teams. If he's not facing anyone that's lower than him, it's smart move as well. I did the same with my team. I don't have any upgrade either.
Yeah, it's definitely better to save up the money than spend it on an enhancement you might not even use because you're always playing in the other one stadiums.
Yep. Like I did buy a Wizards shed in my stadium at one point, but that just bit me in the ass in the end. So I just got rid of it.
Yeah, Wizard stadiums are a tricky one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shall we move on to the next team?
Let's do that.
Gentlemen.
We have a vampire team, Leoric's new best friends.
Oh boy.
And he has quite some vampires. I count 5 of them.
Yay.
And there are some quite developed ones in there.
There is the killer one, the Baal.
Yay. I'll love me some killer vampires.
The palm tackle one.
Yep.
And we also have 2 blotch vampires, which is also great. One of them has sidestep, the other one pro.
Pro definitely good for that blast whenever you do that.
Yep. Won't want to eat all the thralls.
Exactly, and then I think pretty standard builds for the thralls. 2 wrestle players, 1 block and 1 dirty player.
Well, what's surprising me a little bit is 5 vampires and only 3 team rerolls. I mean, it can go bad real quick if you roll bad on your bloodlust rolls.
It could be you eat your team and then you're left with no rerolls in the end.
Because
That's what Pro is for. Pro is there to save the day.
I mean, he is taking his chances, but then again, he also is saving on the team value as well. It is 70k for each reroll.
yeah, but you, as vampires, you, in my opinion at least, do need more than 3 rerolls. Especially, I mean, this is League, there's no overtime, but if you would be considering, probably not considering overtime, I'm not sure. What position is he in the leaderboard?
He's in 5th place at the moment.
Ah,
with 12
so,
points. Sitting pretty solidly. Like the 3, 4, and 5th, like 3rd, 4th, and 5th place are sitting at each 14, 13, and 12 points. They're actually really close. They're actually from 7th and up to 3rd. They can all go above each other pretty much if one wins and the other one loses.
and
So he's still in a good position. Like he has the chance of qualifying if things goes well. Because how's his record now? Four wins, 0 draws, and 3 losses. So he
Yeah.
plays for the win. He
Yeah,
definitely plays
that's also what his overall record is saying, because he has 15 wins, only 2 draws, and 11 losses. I guess especially with those few rerolls, it's a case of do the dice work, or do you have bad luck and eat half of your team in the first half?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the question.
And then have the rest taken out due to armor 7.
Yeah.
Era saying Yoxa doesn't know the meaning of safety.
Well,
So there are two vampire teams in the division. There's this team, and then there's Bitten Heroes, which Era 40 is playing.
well, let's finish up with this team, and after we can straight up go for the other vampire team to compare them. But I think there's still something to talk about here, because for one, he has 14 players. I might even consider getting another Thrall here. Just because you do have those 5 vampires, and if you're sticking to 3 rerolls, you are going to need the Thralls.
Yeah, plus it's only 40k extra. It's not that much.
Yeah, puts him at 1590 TV, so still below some of the other teams in the division.
Yep.
And also, he does have an agility busted Thrall, which definitely isn't a priority. But still, if I had a little more cash, I would go for replacing him.
Yeah, so far he's still probably just a fodder for the team. He runs him in, so the vampires can get in and do some hurt. Have
Yeah.
a slack in the meantime, if they're bloodlust.
Definitely.
I mean, the best way to deal with a busted player is to just let them run in and get killed instead of firing them. That is the best way to get rid of them.
Well, it always depends. You might not want to keep your busted positionals until they die, because sometimes they just stick around forever.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about positionals. I was talking about linemen and goblins.
Well, you are running every goblin in to get killed, so
Yeah, exactly.
And throwing them to the end zone to score touchdowns, apparently.
oh, anything else worth mentioning? He doesn't have a stadium upgrade, which is understandable with Vamps because they cost a lot of money.
I think he's just saving them for trolls when they eventually get killed.
I'm having a
Yeah.
look at his last 2 games. They didn't go that well.
Oh yeah, but he met the Skaven team, and then he met the top in our division so far, the Squishy
Ah,
Conquistadors.
okay, that's understandable, but I think that's 2 games where it shows a little how bad it can go with this setup for
it can
Rams.
True, it can really go wrong. It can definitely.
Yeah. And you were talking about comparing them to the other vampire team in the division, right?
Yeah, shall we move to...
Yeah, I mean, they're one's next up.
Oh,
So, yeah.
so
Heroes.
what do we have here? Oh, those are some scary looking vampires.
Yeah, that's a beautiful vampire team. It is definitely
Yeah,
vampires.
Era 40 vampires even.
Exactly.
Yeah, we look at your vampires, Era. Good
Yeah.
looking kids.
And I also like the vampire to reroll ratio here better.
Yeah, 4 vampires, 3 rerolls. Definitely a better.
4 rerolls, yeah. That's the
4.
leader thrall.
He has the
Oh yeah, that's the
leader.
leader troll. True. Yeah.
I have to say this vampire team is looking really good. He has
That's
the killer with who's probably going to get piling on soon because he has jump up already.
Yeah, and only 2 SGP away from leveling, so could go quite well against some of the lower AV teams there from him.
Then he has 2 stat monsters with an agility 5 vampire and a strength 5 vampire. Both of them have blotch.
Yeah, dirty vampires.
And he has another pro blotch vampire. So these vampires, oh, I wouldn't want to face them.
I would.
I was lucky though. I had I had them in my first match actually, my only win of the season. Woohoo! So far, but it was just like everything just went wrong. Like with the armor on his trolls there, they're pretty much armor 5 in that game. It was just all the blocks were armor busts, but they look really good. If you look at the what is it? The 2-1 game down in the left corner. The history.
Yeah, the history. Ah, there it is.
Well, yeah, that is one of the things that I love against fighting against vampires. The thralls are just so easy to just punch through, and the vampires just makes the games interesting in itself.
Yeah.
Like
But at this point in their development, I wouldn't really be too happy to face them. At least if I'm playing for the win and not only for getting development.
Yeah, because they're definitely scary. Like the Agi 5 Blodge Vampire and their Strength 4 already. Scary enough as it is. They can really put some hurt on your team.
yeah, exactly. But then again, every team can put hurt into another team. That's why we just have to punch them first.
So one decision he has to make is his dirty player is armor busted. Would you keep him?
I think he'll probably throw him out. Like it is, I guess the fouling is doable, but then again he's 1 SPP away on 2 other thralls for getting a level up on those, or an MEP on Red Richards.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. But thinking then again, as Steve is saying, actually, dirty player don't need armor. They're just there to kick the people lying on the ground.
Yeah, that's true, and you can just keep him around for now, and maybe just wait for the next troll to get a level up to replace him. Because at some point, I think you do want to replace the armor busted thrall, because it's just one more player that can get removed very easily.
Yep.
Arrow is asking if you should go sidestep or piling on the killer next level. What do you think?
Yeah, that I was also about to ask that, but yeah.
Pile on definitely. He has to jump up. Like he piles on, jumps up, kills the next person.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a fan of piling on, to be quite honest. Like, I don't want to risk the players just lying down on the floor. Plus, of course, I'm also playing the tabletop in a tabletop game with the updated rules, so I have to just adjust to not using piling on in general.
True. But the vampire animation is just so good, where hovers above the person and just slams into him with the body slam.
Well, I personally have to say I'm not the biggest fan of sidestep on your killer, because you don't want him to be in a position where the enemy gets blocks on him. So I think you could get more use out of the piling on.
Yeah.
And
the sidestep would be put on the Agi5 instead if it was.
Yeah, I much more like the
sidestep Agi5 player.
I would totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, he should probably just take piling on, or alternatively he could take dodge. But then again, if he takes dodge, it'll take 100 star player points to get to the next level. So he should probably take piling on, just to get there a bit faster.
Yeah, I would.
Well, like if he does manage to qualify for playoffs, it's always good to have a killer on a team that can take out whenever you meet Agi teams.
Yeah, and piling on just makes it that more likely that you can remove the player you're getting the block on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Era does make also a good point about sidestep. Like he already has jump up. So when he gets blocked, he just sidestep next to a player he wants to block anyway with the jump up move. So he can mark the player that blitz him, and then just jump out block and a player he sidestep to. But again, piling on is probably a better idea with it this late in the development.
Yeah, I think piling on probably would be the smartest, but I wouldn't hate the other decisions. So You do you, Error. You're doing fairly well. Your overall record is 12 wins, 4 draws, 12 losses.
Currently
Again,
sitting at 7th place in the division, so smack in the middle of the division with a win. Next time he can jump up a couple of spots as well and be 5th or 6th place, depending on how the other games go. So yeah, good shot at jumping up on the list.
Sneaky
Yeah,
Git
but,
might not
yes.
be the best decision, but
Yes, give him Sneaky Kid. He's the sneakiest kid alive. But yeah, I would definitely recommend taking Sidestep if you like that idea.
I mean,
like it.
if
It's
you,
not so.
yeah,
I mean, he should just do what he wants to do. Like if he wants to do Sidestep with follow plan, that's a good idea in itself.
well, what I was trying to say is, if you're going to pick Sneaky Git, wait for it for his legendary skill, because what's the best skill to round out a player? Sneaky Git.
Give him pro.
I mean, that or Thick Skull, because Thick Skull is great.
Or Dirty Player. Dirty Player is also good.
So he can pile on a player and then use his jump up to foul him the next turn.
Exactly.
I do like this vampire team more, but again, if Joxer prefers his vampire team this way, who am I to blame him? I have no idea how to play vampires. I'm just here making a few stupid comments to the teams.
I mean, I can't really judge myself. Like, I'm playing with a goblin in my orc team, so I can't really judge.
Well, we do have a team which doesn't have a goblin, and that's the Pro Elves, who are up next. They are coached by MT Gibb, and they are called the Faltering Roughnecks.
Faltering Roughnecks came up from 4C last season.
Yeah, I remember these kids.
Yeah, they were in our division last time.
Yeah, I also remember that my goblin Skipsy bugged out in our match here. Like, I was trying to throw a little bugger over a line of defense to get to the touchdown, but he just fell down and got stuck in the ground, rotating endlessly.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to redo the match after that because none of the player wanted to move afterwards. They were too frightened to move.
We broke the game. It's like that was the start of the death floor.
Yeah, I mean.
So,
But yeah.
let's have a look at the team. It's looking overall pretty good, but I do have to say, I would expect more doubles and stat-ups on elf teams. At least in my experience, all those elves I have to play against always have that agility 5 guy, always have this strength 4 guy. It's missing in
Always
this team.
have.
Yeah, but I think it's been a bit rough of a season as well. Like he's been taking a bit of a beating in the team, but at least like the thrower is shaping up with the movement 7.
Yeah, and strong arm.
He does have the nerves of steel catches, which is just runs down the side, catches on the 2+ when the thrower throws and runs it in.
Yeah, I'm not saying this team is looking bad. He has 6 blotch pieces, which is great. Or 4 blotch and 2 rotch pieces.
And plus, he can also throw a punch with the mighty blow catcher.
Yeah, all I'm saying is he had a bit of bad luck with his level ups. Or
I wouldn't exactly call it bad luck. Like, he's got the skill set he needs.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It just didn't get stat-ups. That's the thing. Like that will come at one point or the other.
Yeah. And the one injury that it does have isn't really all that important. Like, it's on the kicker. That's it. So this team is actually in a pretty good shape, as far as I know.
Yeah, I would say it's a good shape. It's just doesn't have the amazing potential some of the other elf teams have, is the way I would put it.
No, it has like it definitely needs a bit more building on it, but it is a good foundation though with the catches there. They can be so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at his record. He has 6 wins, 11 draws, and 7 losses.
I think this season he is sitting at, let's see, he's in 13th place with 0-4-3.
Yeah,
so
that's
4 points in total. So probably not going to be a playoff spot this season. But
unfortunately.
again, like with the lower tier teams or lower place teams in this division, myself included, he still has a good chance of like going into the middle of the pack really.
Yeah, also I think it's not bad not going to playoffs, especially with a team like this which has a good foundation but still needs a bit of development to get really good. And in development you will just face the 2K Nurgle team which will rip your team apart and kill everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is a good thing just get another season to build the team up. It's definitely not a bad thing.
That's definitely good. So yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
it.
so-
There's nothing.
not much to say. All of the players are built fairly similarly, and
Yes.
he doesn't
Solid elves.
have a stadium upgrade. I think he had a bit of a rough season so far, but this is nothing stopping him from taking it up a notch.
Yeah, I think this is just, as you said, just a developing season. And then,
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
who's up next?
yeah.
We have Awkward Silence, coached by
Yay, orcs!
Will Iron. Yeah, Will Iron.
Yeah.
Oh, there are the stat ups.
Yay!
They stole all the other ones from the rest of the division there.
Yeah, elves don't need stand-ups. Orcs do.
I mean, he just built himself a vampire without bloodlust.
And with our regeneration, sadly, but he could probably eat some troll fat for that.
But this is a really solid orc team. Like he's sitting in second place now. 5 wins, 2 draws, 17 points. Was sitting on first place until he took the 2 draws. But it's like really strong team. I haven't played him yet, but he did lose a black orc. It looked like.
Yeah, I was wondering why the one black orc was almost a rookie. So.
Yeah, well, you do have another 2 black orcs basically with your 2 strength up blitzers, so it doesn't hurt you that much that you lost the 1 black orc.
Yeah.
Exactly, and still, like he still has the black orc now, so 6 strength 4 players is definitely gonna be tough for a lot of teams to play against. And like, luckily for some teams, he only has 2 guards.
Yeah, the one thing that is bothering me though is the one niggling injury on the strength 4 player.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
that's
would still keep the blitzer, I believe. Yeah, a blitzer
Yeah.
can deal with a niggle.
Yeah, exactly. Still, it is kind of bothersome when once you actually break through the armor, it just hurts to lose one such a blitzer. But still, he's gonna do some good punching.
Well, what I'm curious about is, would you guys go for the movement there?
Or the black orc?
On the black orc, yeah.
Yeah, no, just no. I mean, black orcs don't really need movement 5. Sure, they're pretty limpy with movement 4, but he's much better off with either mighty blow or grab or stand firm.
I would just go stand firm. He doesn't need to move, he just needs to stand there, take a punch, keep on standing, and then punch back.
Yeah, exactly. And if he gets pushed back, he just move front up again and just stand in the way again. And alternatively, punch the gets.
No, I think the idea is that since it's one of 2 guard pieces only, it's to move him in to a proper guard position, so he can blitz himself out and just put a bit of hurt, put the other team in an awkward position, rather than having to rely on movement 4 with a couple of GFIs.
Awkward position.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that does make sense in a way. But still, I'm not a personal fan of plus movement. But he does what he wants. I can respect that.
Yeah, he also has 4 team rerolls, which is a lot for orcs, I would say, in my opinion.
Like he probably uses 1 or 2 of them to roll for a better punch roll instead. So that might be a good reason for it.
Yeah, but still, I'd probably rather have 1 less reroll, just have a little less T value. Don't give up the Inducians. It's a personal thing, but I probably prefer going with 1 reroll less because orcs are pretty reliable.
Right until they're not.
Well, every team is until they're not. So
Yeah, exactly. So
You can't really go wrong with a lot of with strength 4, AV9 block pieces. Really,
Yeah.
they're gonna be solid, and they've been so far in this season really doing really well. And I think that he has a very likely shot at qualifying from this, since it is the top and second place team that gets to go to playoffs. So
Yeah.
really good shot here from Eli, and he's also 3 points ahead of the 3rd place. So if he just keeps the momentum going, then he will be going through.
yeah, again, who am I to judge if it works for him? It's
Yeah, I mean, but most people, some people just like the 4 rerolls just in case. Like, I also got 3 rerolls as in standard, and I often end up with 1 spare reroll. But I still want to keep that extra reroll, and sometimes I even need one. I even need 4 rerolls. You never know.
yeah, that's true. But on the other hand, do I really want to have the extra reroll and give him a wizard?
That's the simple answer is yes.
Ah,
Like, if you could just take the risk with the wizard, like you just have to position accordingly to it, so the ticket just can't run through and grab the ball after he's got lightning strike.
yeah,
That's the kind.
it's true. It's just a thing of team value management, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to speak about team value management. I'm at 1800 right now, so I just kind of toss that out of the window.
yeah, true. Yes, and if it works, he's first place. Yes. He
So, yeah,
he doesn't have a level up on his stadium, so no enhancement.
Yep.
Yeah, his last 2 games only were draws, but you can deal with that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
draws are pretty good still.
draws just happen.
Yep.
So yeah, shall we move
I
on?
do. I do notice something though. He's got 2 orc strip ballers.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of strip ball on the Mighty Blow Blitzer, on the block Mighty Blow Blitzer. I mean, 1 Blitzer with strip ball is fine. Do you really need 2?
you think you'd
Yeah.
rather take a pylon instead?
Yeah, for example, or maybe. Yeah, or maybe pro, for example, just to get some more killing potential. But still,
Yeah, but what I probably would have done, I mean, it's not natural development or anything, but I probably would have picked tackle on the Mighty Blow Blitzer, and instead of tackle, went for guard on the Strength 4 Blitzer, because guard on a Strength 4 piece is great.
yeah, it is. It really is.
But then again, we don't really know the
Yeah, you never know the
like,
situation.
how they got how he got the when he got the skill ups. And
He
stuff.
might have really needed the tackle on the piece, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it is hard to judge in an exact moment.
so. Let's move the judging to Ricky Titan and his Dois Duco Jaws.
Oh, Chaos Dwarf.
The dwarfs.
Yes.
They put some hurt in on my team, I remember. But he's a really nice guy though.
Yeah, and he does have a really nice Red Bull. Like, this Bolton Tower got both dodge, block, and diving tackle. So you can just get anywhere he pleases.
Does that dive and tackle? What is that?
No, he's
Break
he's
tackle.
not
Break
break
tackle.
tackle. Break tackle,
Okay,
yeah.
I was about to say, where's the diving tackle? I thought
Yeah.
break tackle. Yeah, he's running away. Yeah, that's like he's built for.
Diving tackle on a bull would be something.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a kind of special, but
Who are we to judge? It might work.
yep.
Yeah, but then he also has the.
I mean that the opponent definitely wouldn't expect it. I mean, you're just playing there, trying to dodge away from a bull cursor center, and then he jumps at you.
I do like that he's got a witty depth, straightforward hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Just a cheeky strength up there on the hobgoblin, just because why not?
Yeah.
Went for the
Plus,
fouling
it's
route.
witty. Witty's always the best.
One thing I have to say is, if you want to keep your recappers happy, move that Chaos Dwarf blocker up to the other Chaos Dwarf blockers, because it just looks that much nicer.
Nah, suck you. He does what he wants.
The OCD kicks in there. It's like, I can't take it, guys. It has to be even.
It would look so much better.
You guys are just pansies. It looks good to me.
It's artistic freedom here. It's just.
FreddieGibbs is probably right at this moment looking at his team roster and moving every player around just so they are in the worst order possible. For when we get to his team.
So, look at let's skip that team and then just.
Well, let's have a proper look at the players. He does have some.
They are. Yeah, he's gone with the guard mighty blow. He does have one claw. Could probably wants to have claw on the next level ups on the mighty blow guard pieces there, so he can start putting in some real hurt with the claw.
Yeah, you always have to roll the doubles for the claw. You really want to have it, but
yeah, it's the thing. Like you might go without ever rolling the double on the team. But then again, it's dwarves. Like he's got so block, tackle, mighty blow, and guard. And then you just go stand firm instead if you don't roll a double.
what's a bit interesting is 2 dirty player pieces. Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if one of them gets sent out, he might as well bring another one in.
Well, I think the one is just missing next game, or does he have a nickel? No, it's just a miss next game. But
Yeah, I mean-
if you really like fouling, why not?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably gonna bring more hobgoblins in anyway because he's full on the others. And apparently, any control players picks the Minotaur anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, he could just buy a new one. He has 200k in the bank, and hobgoblins are.
I think at this point I would go for the stadium upgrade, because it's just the upgrade, so he still has 100k in the bank to replace any players, and then maybe try to get the bribes enhancement to fuel those fouls with some extra reliability.
Well, it could definitely look like he's going that way if he's running 2 dirty players at least.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then you can do the start of the turn fouls if you have a bribe, where you're in a better position and can reposition afterwards. So definitely something you can go for. Obviously you don't have to, but if you're the one who goes 2 dirty players, that might be your thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Each team should have their own thing to do in a match. So I'm happy that these dwarves have found their calling in life.
Yeah, and it's hurting people, as always. Dwarves.
It's always good when a bash neck snaps.
It is, but I don't think there's much else to say. Like, it's a pretty well developed team. Could use a little bit more on the hobgoblins, maybe different skills. Maybe could take a sure hands one.
Well, we have...
one of the hobgoblins.
Yeah, it's good to have a backup hobgoblin ball carrier. If
Yeah, I mean, I think Weedy's a good candidate for being a ball carrier. I mean, he's got strength 4.
Yeah, strength 4 ball carry, it's always a good one to have.
Yep.
that's true. And if we're looking at his overall record, it's 7 wins, 9 draws, 6 losses. Pretty even, can't complain. What's
Nope.
his record this season?
It's 1 win, 4 draws, and 2 losses.
Not that bad.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's still
Sitting at
Chaos
7 points
Dwarfs.
on 10th place.
Chaos Dwarfs start to really get going if they have a little more development. I mean, he is at a pretty good point already, but once you have those Mighty Blow, Claw blockers,
Yeah, you
Maybe-
really start to.
maybe 1 or
Yeah,
2
that-
stand firms, it just gets that much more annoying.
Yeah, plus one of the losses was against the Squishy Conquistadors, and I gotta test, they're annoying little buggers. As in they're wood elves. So the dwarves can't really catch up with their stunty little legs.
But he has some fast bulls, who
Yeah,
one
but
of
they
them
don't really
can
have-
get everywhere.
Yeah, but they kind of like tackle, so they'll most likely just end up pushing the war dancers away and stuff.
That's true.
So yeah,
Definitely not
Yeah.
the best matchup for dwarves.
nope. So all in all, I'd say he's done pretty good in this season.
Yeah, shall we move on to the proper dwarves?
Woohoo!
Yep.
Somebody's happy.
I'm not biased at all, by the way, if you move on to that thing.
Yeah, I
so,
mean,
so you're saying we should just skip the buff man with short legs?
They're properly named people.
yeah, there's one little error in the names though.
Yeah, that bastard. And he won't die, though. That's the thing. That player, he just won't die.
Take him around the back and put a bullet in his head. Oh wait, not his head. That will go through. How do they kill those dwarfs?
Put them up against Nurgle, apparently. That's what happened to the team, or to the runner. Just
Send them all to Nurgle then.
Just that, yeah.
Well, the Nurgle only take the juicy pieces like the Troll Slayer or the Runner. Yeah, they don't deal with the filthy peasants.
Nah, the filthy blockers, no. They're all...
I do also like that every Longbeard has the same face and same
Yeah,
beard.
that's kind of the thing I went for, just to make it even more stupid to look at when people are having to line up, if they have the thing, when they're watching the team in the beginning. Just to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, not more dwarves.
And also, nearly every one of the Longbeards has guard. Really annoying to play against.
Yeah,
Like,
what is
it's,
the-
you know, it's the standard. It's like you go guard, then mighty blow, then guard, then mighty blow, then stand firm, then guard. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just yeah. And
Plus, one
but
of
the
the
thing
dwarves
is, though,
are on their way.
oh sorry, you
Yeah,
first.
sorry, I was kind of interrupting there, but one of the dwarves are also on the way to guard. You then?
Sorry, one more time.
Just one of the Mr. Tackle here in the bottom. Just needs one cast or just two passes, and it's good.
Yeah, definitely the passes though. That's gonna be it.
Yep, but I mean it's
Actually, two
Mr.
passes are always secured.
It's Mr. Tackle. Shouldn't he go diving tackle and break tackle because it's Mr. Tackle?
Just all tackles, just all the
Yeah.
tackle ones. But what do I do then once he gets higher up?
Yeah, then you
Fire?
just pick sneaky git and pass block.
Just go a solid one. But like the team in general, it doesn't really have the greatest of records. 1-4-2 this season, I think. Yeah.
Well, your overall record is pretty amazing. 11 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses.
It was good last season, I think. Like last season, I think I did pretty well in the beginning. At least I started out doing 4-0 in the previous division, so it's all right at the moment as it is. I would like to see myself play a little bit better, but it's just a testament to how good the players are, the other coaches in this division, really, that they play really well.
So, how tough was the decision to keep your armor-busted Troll Slayer?
Not tough at all. I just want to see what he gets in the next one, and then I'll see. It's like he has like a little bit of sentimental value, so I know now he's gonna be a target. Everyone's gonna go for him if they watch this little cast here.
I wouldn't.
Like,
I would just leave him
it's
alone.
like it's just a solid thing to have him though, you know, like Mighty Blow piling on tackle, Juggernaut. It's always good to have on your team. And then like the strength 7, like if he dies, he dies. It doesn't really matter there. I just want to see how far I can actually take it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just 1 kill away from stand firm as well, so he's really good for crowd server.
Yeah, exactly. So it's it's gonna be stand firm if he doesn't roll anything else like doubles for jump up or strength up or something like that.
Or a 10 for the extra armor point back.
Yeah. Value. Pure value.
Nothing happened here.
He's been doing pretty well in this season at least, like getting a lot of SPP. He got in the first game against Eros or Air 40, his Vamps, he got 10 SPP in that game. So that's a really nice player to have on the team. Then I do have the Blodge Sidestep Blitzer, which I know a lot of people are not a fan of. They would like to see stand firm on it instead.
Oh, I mean, sidestep does have its uses. Like he just repositioned so he can dodge out next turn, for example.
Like my plan, at least like for now, is that I will probably next skill up if he skills up again, it's gonna go guard, so you can just sidestep a guard in whenever people try to block him. He's just gonna be even more annoying around the rest of the guard wall that you're trying to build.
Yeah.
Just try to have an annoying blitzer, and then I went for the next one when the bit is like pretty standard build. Just got a Mighty Blow in, and he's probably just gonna go guard on the next one, just to threaten a little bit more with the Mighty Blow.
To be honest, I'm a rather big fan of the sidestep because you do have all those guard already. It's a good way to mix it up a little bit and to have the potential for the sidestep guard piece, which will be really annoying, is great.
So hopefully he survives, because he's the champion of this team to get powed. Like every time he gets blocked, he gets powed.
Well, it always happens to your blodge piece. As soon as you get your first blodge piece, they always roll powers.
It's Dwarf, of course, is the first blodge piece.
Yep.
No one rolls stat up. The only stat up I had died. So it's pretty standard build overall. Like the runner got his first level up as well, so now he's sure hands block.
Yeah, hopefully Run for It Junior gets agility as well, so he can live up to the family name.
Exactly, Agi and then movement, and we'll see what goes from there, and then people will kill him again.
I would say the priority is the movement for the running part, but
definitely the Agi was pretty nice when you did like the silly dodges and the passes and stuff. It was quite fun with him. To do that, and then like that, there's nothing like interesting really on the rest. It's just a standard dwarf build, really. Just gone up with that. They've been doing pretty well, getting a lot of cast this season. As I said in the start of this, that my team is having. Let's see, here on Blood Bowl, it has the highest cast rate so far of all the teams, like the highest amount of cast inflicted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a big reason of that is Mr. Mohawk. I assume.
Yeah, I mean, doing so well. Like the other one, Mr. Pirate, there, like with the little eye patch. He's not as a great a troll slayer. He's kind of just a more annoying piece.
He only slays the goblins.
Yeah, he's just there, like, oh yeah, hey guys, I'm here as well.
I mean. That's another good thing about Mr. Mohawk at this current state. He just ignores Claw.
Yeah, he's immune now. Haha.
Like he just doesn't give a shit about Chaos Warriors.
No, he just dies anyways. Like gets injured whenever he gets blocked normally. But never mind that part. But yeah, I got if you look at the stadium, I got the stadium upgrade, but I don't have any addition. So I just have a level 2 stadium because I need to get rid of some cash, really.
Well, you do have a lot of cash. So what enhancement are you planning to pick up?
I'm probably gonna go with the security gate to get rid of the pitch invasion and throw rock. Pitch invasion is the bane of this team. I've had 3 pitch invasions in the 4 last games. Yeah, and each in different games. Like I had one where I had 4 people left after the kickoff standing, and he had 9 players. So yeah, I hate pitch invasion so
Yeah,
much.
pitch invasion can.
I hate it with a passion. It really is. And then like throw rock is just such a dumb thing. Like it's so annoying. Like even though it's like you're happy when it hits your opponent, but then again you know how it feels if it happens to your team as well. And like even though you're armor 9, that's gonna be like it's gonna break your armor anyways and just kill you.
Yeah, it just go right through the armor and just direct it to the injury table. That's the thing about throw rock.
Just go straight for the jugular and then you're down.
Yep.
Well, I think we should move on to the next team, the Cold One Cannibals.
Oh, lizards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like to see lizards. I'm a lizard coach myself.
The Cold One Cannibals.
There are some interesting pieces. There's a sneaky get skink.
That's your piece.
So the first thing I have to say, I would fire that skink.
It's a sneaky good sidestep. But why though?
Yeah, why?
Because it has sneaky git. It's a 100k piece you want to use for fouls, and if it does a stun and rolls doubles, it will get sent off.
But he plays my team next. He needs to fill it with that skink.
Yeah, just keep the skink.
We're playing each other next.
Okay, he can keep it for the next game, but after. So let's have a look.
True thing. Rama said this. Pitch invasion and riot is what it cancels the security gate. It's the sandwich kiosk that cancels the throw rock and get the ref. But riot is horrible as well as dwarf. Like when you set up for like the anti-1 turn and then they get an extra extra turn. They're like, great.
I mean, that's the opposite for me. Like right now, I really don't like throw a rock, but I do like get the ref. So that's where the quick kiosk kind of makes it annoying a choice. Like I do want all the bribes I can get, but I also don't want to end up having a rock thrown in my face.
That's true.
Yeah.
Looking at the team though, he has 2 guard players. The other one is MNG, I think.
Yeah, and he also has.
I think it's just an MNG, isn't it?
I mean.
Yeah, but it isn't the MNG that's confusing me. It's the plus agility.
The Agilitysaurus.
Why?
Because the picking up on 4+ is better than a 5+. I mean, he does make a good ball carrier. It's like a Bolton Tower trying to pick it up.
Yeah, that's true, but
like you have skink with movement 8.
I'm not the biggest fan of plus agility on a Saurus.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have stand firm there.
Stand firm.
Or Mighty Blow.
Or Mighty Blow, yeah, maybe.
You can always get more Mighty Blow.
Just have a movement 7 one as well. 7 Saurus.
What I'm also a bit confused is the Juggernaut on the Crocs is an interesting decision, because usually you don't want to use the Crocs for your blitz.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to fire the Crocs.
Yeah, but you could get stand firm instead.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just trying out a few skills.
Yeah,
I think he's just testing lizards and seeing how far he can take them as well.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just, as a lizard main, there are some choices that make me twitch a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty well in a season 7. Like he got 6 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses, so he did pretty well.
He just had some unfortunate games then. He's sitting at 0 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses so far, so sitting at 1 point. So he's bottom of the table at the moment. But then again,
sadly.
it is Lizards though. They do have the opportunity since they have a bit of everything. They have the strength 4.
Yeah, the Lizards can
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And with the movement 9 though, has potential.
Yeah, especially for one turning.
Yeah.
What
Like if he gets another movement on it or something like that, it could be a pain to deal with.
Or just simply sidestep.
Sure Feet is also good for the one turner. So there are still plenty of ways to develop that skink. Again, what's making me twitch a little bit is only 2 rerolls.
Yeah, I did notice that too as well. Like, maybe he just trimmed one at some point just to in a fight against someone.
Might be the case. Still.
He does have a level 3 stadium though.
Yeah.
No enhancement on it, just leveled at the stadium.
Some interesting money spending habits here.
Like, maybe he's just having fun with the team.
Yeah, that can definitely be true.
Yeah, there's nothing to blame there. It does look like a
season. If he had a good season last season, he might be able to pull it around as well. You never know.
Yeah, I think it's showing this season that he gets punished for a few suboptimal choices, but it's still a team that can definitely win games.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, he should try to maybe have a Soros with Darkness and multiple block, so he can just punch 2 guys at once.
Again, might not be the best idea, but
I mean, that star player dwarf does it well, so why not?
Yeah, I think we move on. I don't want to be too harsh on King Ken.
Oh, we'll see, because I'm playing him on the weekend here, so we'll see how it goes. He might pull out the wins. His strength 4 is really strong against Dwarf.
Yeah, he is lacking 1 Soros, which is really good.
Yep.
So we have a Minotaur in a Chaos team.
Yep, yeah. and he's well developed.
That is Strace and his Chaos team, the Firestars. The Minotaur came off from the was bought into the team.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Minotaur.
It is. It was really high level, and it got the level up. So he put tentacles on it now. So you're not really going away from that one. It's gonna keep you in place and just annoy you.
Yeah, and that agility pass doesn't mean jack. It just doesn't mean jack.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything on a Minotaur really. Like what you do with agility, anyways. He has some pretty well developed Chaos Warriors though, like pretty good skills on those.
Plus a plus a strength 5 tentacle warrior.
Yeah, he seems to be a big fan of the tentacle skill. Probably had some trouble against dodgy elves or something.
Yeah, plus he also got another candidate for tentacles. Another strength 5 dude.
Yeah, quite a lot of stat ups here. He has also agility for Beastman, which just got a level. So, if it's a normal, what would you take on the agility 4 piece?
Block.
Yeah, block probably.
Yeah.
Just to have the chance of actually, surviving a bit more, because that's the problem with Beastmen as well. Like the lack of block really can hurt Chaos so much.
To be honest, I would like to see a wrestle and then maybe 2 heads to make him cage diver.
Oh yeah, that could also work maybe, because he's got agility 4 and the 2 heads just gives him +1 touch, so it's gonna be like agility 5 touch into a cage, yeah.
And it's a horn, so he will have strength 4 on the blitz, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Strength 4 on the blitz, yeah.
So he just have to cancel out some assists, and he's good to go.
Yeah, he does have his ball carrier already, so he doesn't really need another one.
Nope.
He just needs annoying pieces that can deal with other types of players.
Otherwise, yeah.
What?
Okay, he has also to block Mighty Blow Chaos Warriors, which are good choices. For Chaos teams at least. Maybe maybe one more guard would be nice. Probably maybe what I would get on the next level up for the Chaos Warrior. He's also lacking the Killer Beastman, but he does have the Mino for that.
Yeah, I mean,
About that.
Rail, for example, Rail, the Chaos Warrior, he might as well also he could also just take Claw afterwards, because then he'll just probably zoom up to 51 star player points and grab guard there. Like, it is a pretty good combo with Claw and Mighty Blow, as we all know.
Yeah, that's true.
So we might as well go with that route.
Yeah, I think a guard might be good though on one of them, like Strength 4 guard. Like you can never really go wrong with that skill.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the following matchups, because if you're up against a lot of strength, I would prefer the guard, just to have the extra presence on the field. If you're up against a lot of not so strengthy pieces, you might want the claw. So I guess it depends.
He already played this round actually, the week 8 one. So he played against the Skaven team and drew that one.
Probably not a bad result.
I was seeing he's got High Elves coming up. He's got Amazon. He's got Wood Elves.
Actually, I probably would like to see tackle on that Chaos Warrior then, because he doesn't have a single tackle piece right now.
He also has he has me, the dwarf team, and then he has the what are they called? The lizard team, yeah.
Yeah, so guard would be nice. I think you can't go.
He's mostly elves left to play though, so it's something I can take care of that the pesky dodge.
And then again, yeah, Tish could also just level up in the next with a touchdown, so he could grab tackle instead.
Yeah, true. I guess you can't really go wrong. It's tough to decide what would be the best level up. We will see what he will pick.
Yeah, I mean, the final decision does go on Drace, though. So, we'll see what he picks.
Yeah, he's got a solid base now for the team, like a really solid base built, and then he just needs to kind of develop the players a bit more so he can start really hurting.
Yeah,
he's sitting at 8th place.
Yeah, he really likes to draw 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because then you just get to punishment markets and don't really move much from the spot. So,
but he's also been like he's been outcast by a lot of the teams at the beginning of the thing. I've seen him write a little bit in the Reddit chat. And
yeah, he has been complaining that his Mighty Blow haven't done anything and he gets outbashed every time. So he has a bit of a hard time this season. But this team is looking pretty good. I mean, 2 strength 5 Chaos Warriors, an agility 4 Beastmen.
And a Minotaur that's killing as all hell. Yeah, it's the can opener in the team. The problem is you kind of, though, since it is so high level compared to the rest of the team, it is really taking a lot of TV.
Yeah, it's really expensive. 270k team value.
Yeah, just in that.
I mean, if you're gonna take a Minotaur, you would take a Minotaur like that one.
Yeah, block. You can block Mighty Blow, Claw, and the armor. And the tentacles as well.
It is a big nasty.
He could also consider getting a dirty player, because he doesn't have one of those.
Yeah,
on one of the fresh Beastmans. I mean, if you can't hurt the players on your knockdowns, just foul them afterwards. But yeah, he's in a bit of a tough spot overall, so.
Yeah, but But it's like he's kind of like he's in the middle of the table now, sitting there at 8 points. He's already played 8 matches though. Though them and the Skaven team have both played 8 matches, so all the others still have to play theirs. We'll see how the standings are going to look after that, because there are 3 teams that can overtake him with a win. Both the Amazons, the Dwarves, and the Dwarves can overtake him if they win the next matches.
So
Yeah.
let's have a look at his opponent of this week, who he drew. It's the RR Mafia Mumble Rats, coached by Kummerstern. And he has a natural 1 turner. Disgusting. I hate rats with a passion.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really that bad if you just end up getting your hands on it, but in general, they're a pain in the ass. You just have to try to just not let him get through at all. It's a
Just hope you put some hurt on them, really.
Yeah.
Like he does have a strength up also on the Storm Vermin, which is quite helpful.
Yeah,
To help with that blitz against the higher strength teams and so on.
exactly.
Probably hoping for a claw on the Storm Vermin and the killer one for the next one.
Yep.
What's
And
also
maybe got and I see there's two of the gutter runners that's building up to be sackers. I see.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because it's they go and stack the ball, the other one goes in, picks it up, throws it to the one turner who runs it in.
Yeah, I think they're even second by the second players of each of the 3. Like Dajari the second, Saucer the second, and Harry the second. I don't think these are originals.
Yeah, the gutter runners die easy once they get knocked
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
What's an interesting choice, in my opinion, is going with a thrower. Most of the Skaven teams don't get a thrower.
I usually get a thrower for my gaming teams. Like, it is pretty good with Jealousy 4 on the gutter runners, but you might as well just make a thrower, having it at the back and ready to throw, and let the gutter runners do their thing instead.
Yeah, and with the 2 arms as well, like he can pick it up easy.
Yeah.
The balls need the extra agility on it, so I think it's a good pickup. It does need the block, I think, or if he's just gonna play it as picking up the ball, throwing it to one of the gutter runners, he's probably gonna go accurate on the next one.
Yeah, I mean, he does have dodge, so he's on a good way. Plus, he can also just play the running game instead with Kuro here with the thrower. I mean, it also works with the 7 movement of the Skaven. So that's not. I don't really see the issue with the throwers and Skavens.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing you can go for. I was just mentioning it because there are a few Skaven teams who don't get the thrower.
Yeah.
Which I think also has merit, so...
And yeah,
it's
more
a
power to
choice.
them, yeah. It is pretty much the choice of a generation.
So...
Then, yeah, he just has pretty standard. Has the line fodder, the 3 linemen, unskilled linemen, has a 30 players that can go in foul, kick, wrestle. Yeah.
And I think he's lost some line rats because that's a missing spot.
Yeah, you tend to lose line rats as rats, so...
Yeah, so there's no wonder there.
So he also has a level 2 stadium. He has 160k in the bank. He could theoretically pick up an enhancement. Well, what would you go for the enhancement with threats? Again with the gate?
I don't know.
Rats, really.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. What you take on rats?
Probably
I mean,
the squiggy stand just to prevent the rocks just killing your gutter runners.
It could, yeah. I think the sandwich course could work. Like the throw rock and the ref kind of hurts the rats as well, being that low armor. The other team.
Or
has
the
ref.
all the weather dome could also help the Reds a lot. Like, if it starts to rain or it gets to a blizzard, then the one turners got a pretty difficult time.
Yeah, but then again, like your Rats though, like you have so many G4 players that can pick it up easily anyway.
Yeah, I
like,
think it
They
hurts.
have too much. I think it's more like on other teams, like more bashy teams. They have more problems in the.
Yeah, the rain, the weather hurts the other teams more than the Reds, so I wouldn't go for the weather dome. But yeah, it's a pretty nice looking Skaven team, if you can say that for a Skaven team, because Reds are disgusting. And
Nah, Reds are pretty good. It just gets squished hard, squished easy.
yeah, I'm not saying they're not good, I'm just saying they're disgusting. That there's a key difference.
Stinky.
No bias at all here.
Yeah.
Yeah, real stinky.
Hey, I never promised I wouldn't be biased here.
No, suck him.
So,
But, yeah. Should we move on to the last team?
yeah, and it's quite a team. The Squishy
it is the
Conquistadors.
Oh, I remember these kids.
Coast 5, yeah, hero.
Earlier,
these
when
kids.
we were talking about the pros, you said how I mentioned they were lacking some stat-ups.
Yeah, he took all of them.
Yeah,
Look at that.
especially on catches here.
Yeah, I already took care of one movement 9 at G5. Oh no, yeah, at G5 piece. In the first season that we had, the last season, I armor busted it, and this time I managed to kill it when we played our game. But he's like this team, like he's playing really, really well. I remember last season he came in halfway through the season, still managed to place in the top of the teams.
Plus, he just ran circles around my boys when I fought him. I could barely land a hand on him. He's just damn fast and good.
He's a really good player. He's like really solid player as well, and like he has the base for the team, the ones you need. You have the war dancers, you have the tree that's in the way, and then you have the Agi and the really fast catches there that goes around. And he's also sitting. Exactly. The lead. He's sitting in first place now with 6 wins, 1 draw, 19 points. Definitely top contest for qualifying this season. He's 2 points ahead of second place. So if he keeps this going, there's no reason why he shouldn't qualify really for the next season. Yeah, or for the playoffs. Sorry.
This definitely is a team you would want to have as a Woodolph coach.
Exactly. Yeah, he's kind of gone, a bit like the Squiggy way, where he got a lot of not so important players busted up, and then he's built them up again, which has been really nice. He's managed to do that, build up another movement 9 at G5 catcher with block and leap as well. So that guy's just gone if he gets the ball.
Yeah, the only important lineman he still has is the kick guy, because you do want to have kick as Wood Elves.
Yeah.
The other linemen just got fed to the wolves.
Yeah. I mean,
like when he keeps the team this way as well, he gets 3 loners that he can put on the line of scrimmage to start off with, so he doesn't put any important players as such to get hit.
I mean, it is interesting. It doesn't have any throw us, but I think he's doing pretty fine without them.
Yeah, I think he's up to 3 rerolls now, so I don't think he needs the thrower. It's more in the beginning of the Wood Elf team that you want to have the thrower to give him leader, so you can get that extra reroll in, especially if you have the tree start.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I hate this team. Just to flat out.
Yeah.
As an orc player, I hate this team.
Yeah.
he's the team is disgusting, but like good coach and really nice overall really nice guy as well. Like he's been great fun to play with as well, and like typing in chat and so on. So if anyone ever get a chance of playing him, like enjoy it. Like it's good fun.
Yeah, he is a good sport as well.
Yeah, and enjoy it while he demolishes your team 3-0.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, he also has a really good record.
Have 1 draw though. Yeah.
Yeah, and overall his record is 13 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses. That's a great record to have.
It's
and I think
record, yeah.
he seems to be on his way to the playoffs, and his team is looking like it would have at least a decent shot in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, taking his skill into consideration as well, like he definitely has a chance of going through like the rounds, if not going all the way up to getting a video done of the team instead.
Yeah.
And such. So like
Yeah,
best of luck at least.
It's
I've
definitely
already played him, so I can only wish him best of luck like for the rest of the season as well. I just hope that things goes as hoped.
And I do sincerely hope that he just takes a trophy and runs away with it, because suck his team. He deserves to win it.
yeah, I think we covered every team, and it only took us 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Way.
Let's finish off with a quick last look at the leaderboard. We have the Woodles we just mentioned in the top. Just 2 points behind we have the Orcs, currently holding the 2 playoff spots. And then we have 3 teams closely behind them. The Necromantics, the High Elves, and the Joxus Vampires. In the middle of the table, we have the Skaven, the other vampire team, the Chaos team. It's
Well, the chaos is just like 1 point, like they're a bit more towards the lower end. I think it's more the
it's in the middle.
Skaven and the vampire, because the others have already played. Like Skaven and chaos have actually played already. So
it's
But still,
pretty close overall. There are no big gaps in the point distribution, so we don't have a clear front group and a clear back. A few teams who are having a rough season, like the Elven Union team, the Lizards, the Nurgle. But I think it's a really competitive division, lots of great coaches. And it
is, and just
I think it's a pleasure to play in the
nice.
division, isn't it?
It is. It's really good fun. Like all of the coaches that I've played with so far have been really great to talk with as well, and they just seem like they can joke as well about everything. They're it's like really good plays, good matches, close matches, most of them at least, and it's just it's enjoyable. Like I really enjoyed playing in this one. So just like best of luck to the rest of you and the rest of the matches there in this division.
And for awkward silence here, I hope you twist those Wood Elves ankles good and proper.
Yeah, so I have one last question for you guys for this division. Who will take the 2 playoff spots?
The 2 playoff spots?
Awkward silence.
I think Wood Elves and Necros will take it.
Yeah.
FreddieGibbs is just saying both of the playoff spots go to the awkward silence.
Yes. Orcs is the best. But yeah, seriously though, the Wood Elves, Orcs, and Necromantic teams had a really good shot at it, as well as the Bloodthirsty Sea Gods. They do also have a pretty good chance at it. They do have to pull some points out, but still.
Like Wood Elves, I think like Vihero with his, I think he's definitely gonna go through. Then it's gonna be a close one between second and fourth place.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take that one? The second
I'm
spot?
actually gonna say the Wood Elves take home the first place because they're Wood Elves, and I'm actually gonna give the second playoff spots to wait for it.
Orcs.
I doubt it will be the Orcs. Not necessarily. I'm gonna actually give it to the High Elves. I think the Bloodthirsty Sea Guard, they haven't lost a match yet. And they do have some quite nice players. And I want to see High Elves in the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's see how it goes then.
Yeah,
Hopefully...
they do have good chances as well, yeah. I mean, there's only, there are a few matches still to be had, so that's everything's still on the table.
Yeah, 6 more matches to play, so
Yup.
Anything can still happen then.
Yeah, and I think that's it for Division 4. I'm gonna
It
stop
is
your video
that.
now because I need a quick break. So I hope you enjoyed this little mid-season look at your division, and good luck with your games.
Yeah, good luck to you, lads.
Good luck.